Good morning. It is Monday, May 18th today. Can we finish planting before it rains this afternoon? I don't know, but we're going to try our hardest. So Dad is currently finishing up a field of corn stalks with the disc on the 9R. And Phil is in that same field planting it right now. When that one is done, when Phil's done planting, we're down to the last field of beans. It's about 72 acres. It still needs the tillage work done on it, though. So it's not quite ready to plant. I wonder if we can no-till it. Maybe I should tell him we should just no-till that. Anyway, Dad is going to bring the disc back here when he is done. We're going to hook the field cultivator back up to the 9R. And he is going to go and do the last 65-acre field of bean stubble that's going to corn so that I can keep planting some corn. We then have 30 acres down the road from there that needs to get worked. The problem is we have two 1-acre fields, 1 1/4 acre triangular shaped fields, and they're a real pain to get into with that big field cultivator and the packer. So we'll have to decide whether we can try and do it or just drop the packer or how we're going to do that. And then that's it for the corn. So if he can get them fit up, I can get them planted. No problem. And then we were going to hook the disc back up and go back over and do that last 72 acres of corn stalks for beans. But I'm wondering if maybe we should just no-till it. They're not fit. They didn't get done last fall, so it's got to be hit twice, or we could just plant it. We'll talk about that. But anyway, right now we're going to get our fertilizer loaded up on the planter so that Dad can have his water tank back. So we have these two black tanks here. The cone bottom one we use for water all of the time. The black one here, I put my 1034-0 in for corn starter. And then once we're done planting the corn, it's empty and we can use it for water as well. And yeah, there's just a little bit of 1034-0 in there, and Dad wants to use it for water. So we're gonna go ahead and pump that out so that he can use that. And then we'll turn his water on for him. So that tank is completely empty, so we're going to start with our 1034-0 and just suck that until that tank is empty. We'll see how much we had in there. There might be a little bit more than what I actually need, but that's okay. We'll adjust our rates accordingly. It's empty. Okay, now let's go see about how much is in our tank. We needed 327 gallons, 325 gallons for what we're trying to do here. That looks pretty darn close. We're actually came out just about right. Need a touch extra. Wow. Okay then. 200, 400, 327. Perfect. All right, good enough. We don't need to worry about adjusting rates. Our ATS tank here it's not empty, but it's close. We'll use that up in the irrigation this summer. We might actually need a little more than that, but we got enough to finish. Now we're going to suck some more 28 out of here and get up to our 1,200 gallons, and this tank won't be empty either, but it'll be close. And again, we'll use some of that up for our irrigation this summer. And then we're going to fill up our in-furrow tank, and we probably won't need all of that. We'll have a little bit left of our 721.3. We'll figure out what we want to do with the rest of that, whether we keep it for next year or maybe use it in our irrigation or some foliar or something. Dad's back with our tillage. He got the field where Phil's planting done, so we're going to hook the field cultivator back up so we can go do some corn. There he is right there. Let's go help him get fired up. So we're switching stuff back and forth because our 8R is down. We're going to talk about that later in a little bit more depth after I figure out what we're doing about it. But anyway, we got a little bit of field cultivating to do, so this is how we're handling it right now. Got to take the spacer off the tongue there. All right, he is off. I've got all the fertilizer in the planter we need. We're going to pull over here because I need fuel in that as well. I don't know where we're at with seed. I got to look in the tanks and see how much seed is left in there from what we did at Berkey. There should be some, but I highly doubt, in fact, I'm 100% confident there's not enough to do 100 acres. We might have enough for like 20 acres. So we're going to need some more seed. Fortunately, I'm a seed dealer and I have a whole warehouse with extra seed in it. And so we'll just grab from there what we need. I kind of always do this intentionally where I don't order quite enough seed for everything we've got, because I never know exactly where we're going to fall and where it's going to work out. In fact, I carried some over last year that I didn't really intend to, because I had too much. So usually what I do is I order the number of even boxes that I need. And this year it just so happens that I needed an extra like 30 paper bags. But I always get some plot seed and different stuff that adds up, and you never know exactly how much. So I'm a little short seed this year. Not a big deal. I have it. We'll plant it. Yeah, we can plant for a little while on this seed. I have more of the same variety that we're going to use up first. It's a new 104 day that it's the right maturity for when we're planting here. Not that, I mean, May 18th is not super late to finish planting, right? Like, I'm okay with it, but it's time to be done. For as bad a shape as we thought we were in 2 weeks ago, what a planting season we had here all of a sudden. I don't ever remember in my entire farming career, which admittedly is not that long, right? 20 years that I've been doing this full time. Not quite, 17. I can't ever remember never being rained out, really. And I guess you could say we got rained out for 2 hours there on Saturday, and there was one other day we had a tenth and a half and had to wait till the afternoon to plant. So, but still, consecutive days. 12, today's day 12 consecutive. I didn't plant yesterday, and we're gonna be done. And I can't ever remember that happening. So we went from significantly behind to ahead of our historical pace. I should show you these charts. Wonder if I can do that. John Deere on their mobile app has like a seeding overview, and it's really cool to see the charts. Let me see. It's probably vertical, but let me screen record this and show you. All right, so here's our John Deere app, and if we click this analyze button, ooh, I don't know if I want to show you all of this. And we hit seeding overview. You can see these charts here. Yeah, that's fine. So this is corn planting progress, and you can see here where, you know, normally we get started, like, well, there's a little bit on the April 12th for the 5-year average. The dotted line is our 5-year average. But usually by the 25th, 6th, 7th of April, we're sitting at like 40 to 50% planted there. This year we didn't do anything until May, what, 7th or 8th? I don't know what the day was, but look how sharp that line is to now we're actually ahead of our normal planting pace. So that's good. But look at the soybeans chart when I click on that one. Boom! That is a straight vertical line. Just launches straight up to where we're almost done. So it says we're over 100% done because I planted those a couple of fields twice. It thinks those were acres that we covered when, I mean, we did, but they don't actually count, right? So we're going to end up planting more acres of beans than what we actually have for acres of beans this year. But yeah, I thought these charts were pretty cool to see how quickly the planting pace happened, and this year is prime example of that. All right, I'm waiting on Dad to get ahead of me in the field cultivator. And so while we're waiting for that, we're gonna grab some corn. All of this that's left in here is extra. It's stock corn, either stuff that we ordered in extra specifically for this purpose, for in-season needs, or maybe a customer didn't end up taking all of what we had originally ordered, or changed to some beans and we have some corn left or something. So whatever, not a big deal. This isn't that much in the grand scheme of how much we're moving through this warehouse, so I'm okay with it. But it's also here for me to pull from when I run short, so we're gonna grab this pallet in the back over here. This is that 04M, it's the same hybrid that I've got in the planter right now, and I've got a fair bit of it. I think there's actually some more of it over there somewhere, but we're just gonna take these for now and hope that that gets us to where we need to be. So there is rain coming. It is out west. We've got a few hours before it makes it here, but boy, would it be nice to be done before that happens. So I'm trying to be patient and give Dad as much of a head start as I can. I need about 2 hours to get all the corn planted, and that's because we've got a lot of running around to do and going different fields and stuff. If it was all in one spot, it wouldn't even probably take that long. So I'm trying to give myself a 3-hour window so that I have plenty. But yeah, we gotta keep that field cultivator moving. I do have this pile of open bags from the plot that we're gonna use up before we get into too many of those other bags there too. So all the open bags there are soybeans. Those will probably get used up in double crop because I don't think we're going to need them for first crop. I think we might have an extra box, which is, it's fine, but whatever. So what do we do with that field? Still pretty wet. Not going to get much of it. It's supposed to go to corn. It's right next to where Dad's working, and we're getting ready to come plant. I'm taking my truck down here. Mom's going to pick me up, take me back to the farm so I can get the planter, and we're going to chase Dad. All right, let's go planting. See, really what we're doing here is we're just delaying this as long as possible so that we can add some drop to the end of planting. Are we gonna make it? Are we not? It's the beat the rain game day. I'm not sure if Dad made it to the corner over there yet or not, but he's doing back end rows because he saw me pulling the field, so that's good. And he's got the other side of this house done, so the ends are all done over there, so we can get started with that. I'll make sure my valves are all right. They're not. Let's see, just walk around. I do get tired of crawling over this tongue of this cart behind us. That's the biggest negative. It's not the corners, it's the getting to the other side of the planter. Alright, we gotta close this one. Open this one. Those ones are open. Open this one. Now we're ready to plant. So here you can see why we've waited on this field. The front of it's all been good, and there's a sand ridge that runs right through here. And then we drop down into the river bottoms, and this was all underwater. There's still a spot where Dad had to go around it. Some of this was clearly a little wet yet. The neighbor hasn't planted their bottoms. They're still wet on top. Like, it's just, we had too much water on this, but we can't wait any longer. So we're going, even though it's a little chunky in some of this stuff. But it'll plant okay. We'll be fine. Little traffic jam here. I slowed down. I'll let him make his turn. Get out of my way. That way he's not running over as much stuff that I already have planted. I'm just going to do these ends up to this corner, and then he's got kind of a point here. Where's the shape of this field here? Right here. So we're going to this corner, and then he's got these rows up here to do yet. But he'll be done with those before we get there. By a little bit, not by a lot. Our singulation goes to crap when we slow down. 2.5. That Packer's doing a really nice job. Oh boy, this would be rough if we didn't have the Packer there. Anyway. This is fun. This is fun. Working out here side by side with my dad. You can't see because our windows are dirty, but it's still fun. It does occur to me though right now that this is the perfect opportunity to have the drone in the air for some video footage. And I don't have it. I didn't do it. I never even charged the batteries. I thought of that early in the planting time and then just totally forgot. And I'm just like, we got too busy. I know I can do a much better job filming and, you know, making high quality YouTube content, but priority is actually farming. I'm a real farmer too, not just a YouTube farmer. And so we gotta keep stuff moving for that. And filming is secondary some days, most days, every day. Filming is secondary every day, but especially when we're in the fields. So we're just gonna curve around this wet spot. I need to put an end row set on each side. How are we handling this? I think we're just gonna curve around it. That's the easiest way. Probably better not drive through it. Doesn't look like it'd be a good idea. Just got our low seed warnings in each tank. We can plant another round or two here. We've got 22 acres done, so I wasn't too far off. We'll get about 25 out of the seed that was in there. Well, we made it up to 28 acres. I can't believe that I would be able to plant this whole pass, so we got one pass to fill in where we started because whatever. Dad's still finishing up some ends. I can't do any more than this one pass until he gets these end rows done, so I'm gonna let him finish. I hear my concrete guys are at the house. So I'm gonna run back there and check in with them real quick, and then we'll come back, put some seed in the planter, figure out how much we got left to do in this field, and then the 30 acres in the next group of fields, we'll put enough seed in for that, or close to enough for that, and throw a couple bags on the platform, and hopefully we can get it finished up. Looks like it's not gonna rain until about 3 o'clock. It's about 12:30 now. We got plenty of time to get this done, but we gotta keep that field cultivator moving. That's the bottleneck here. If we get to the point where we are done planting corn and we are down to 72 acres of beans left to plant, we had one heck of a run. Like, that's okay. Phil was finishing up the last field before that one right now, and then he was going to go look and see about no-tilling that last field. I don't think we're going to end up doing that. I think we'll probably hook the disc back up and go over there, which means it won't get done today before it rains. That's okay. That's okay. We're feeling better than we were. Got the builders and the concrete guys here, so hopefully they can get the concrete finished up before it rains. They said it's pretty rain fast, not a concern there. Getting the sealer on, so that's good. And yeah, working on my building there a little bit. After today, I should have a little more time to be around and help out with that kind of stuff. So these guys are just doing the frame and the exterior stuff. He's a friend from church that's doing the building. I had asked him if he had time and would frame it, put the roof on, put the siding on, do the exterior stuff, and then I'll take care of all the interior electrical, plumbing, and finishing in the inside stuff. So that's what they're getting to. I need to get the building in place to get my electrical run so that I can power up the pool equipment, the heater, the pump, the salt generator, or chlorine generator, all that kind of stuff. So look at that. There's a bean planter sitting there. That means Phil is done with that other field, so that's good. Can confirm. Bags still suck. Holy crap. Especially 60 pounders. So we put 20 of them in the planter. I threw 4 bags on the platform. Plus I combined all of those open plot bags into 2 big bags that are open sitting there. We'll use those next, and hopefully that other 4 will be enough to finish. Quick seed check. We are still planting into moisture, but not near as much moisture as what we had been. I think that'll grow and germinate just fine, but a little rain today isn't going to hurt anything once we're done. This is the pass with our wet spot in the middle of it. Oh, I went too far. Oh yeah. Spin her out. We made it, but that got a little hairy. I didn't think we'd spin quite that bad getting out of there. I thought I could float across it as long as my tank didn't make it to it, so that's all right. That'd be something, wouldn't it? No rain for 12 or 14 days, whatever we're at. Last day of planting, everything should be as dry as it's been the whole time, and then you get stuck. Save the wet fields for last. That's what we did. Do we need some more drama for the Beat the Rain game that we're playing today? I just saw Dad go by with a field cultivator, and I thought, nah, he's not done down there yet. Like, I don't know how long he's been down there, but not long enough to do 30 acres in that field. He just called me. Something broke on the field cultivator, a depth control arm that, yeah, I don't know exactly, but he's on his way back to the farm. He's just going to drop it and hook up to the disc and go back. But he said I'm probably going to have to hit it twice, so it's going to take more time. I don't know if we're going to make it. But we're going to get this field done. We're up to 55 acres. We got just 10 acres to go here, so we're closer. We're closer. Last pass. Got another one done. What a deal. Okay, we're going to have to wait on the tillage here. I haven't seen Dad go back by, so we'll go and see if he needs help getting the disc hooked up. He's probably getting it, but yeah, we're gonna need a couple hours probably, and I don't know if we're gonna get it from the rain standpoint. We're gonna cut this super close. There's a little shower that popped up just to the east of us. There's starting to be some little popcorn stuff ahead of the main front that is moving through Chicago right now, or just east of Chicago actually. So we might have 2 hours before it gets here, but that might be all we get, and I don't know if we're gonna make it. And then there's still this piece across the river, or the ditch here, creek. I think there's enough wet and water sitting there that we're just gonna have to wait on that one. So it may get planted to beans. There is quite a bit that we could plant, and I can probably just go in and plant it, stale seed bed it. The water flooding it's leveled it off, so you know, it's not that rough. But we aren't gonna do that. If it was a little bit drier, the stuff that where there's water we're never gonna get to. But if the stuff that's wet on top now was dry and it was just a little right around the water, then we'd go in there. But it's too much. Too much not ready. So the fields that we have to do are these. They're kind of odd shaped, and you can see the two little triangles there that are like 1.25 acres and 1.5 acres. They're a real pain in the butt to do, especially pulling this tank. So one thing I am considering is dropping that tank. Now I'm putting 11 gallons to the acre on of our 2x2 fertilizer. I have 30 acres to plant between those 3 fields. If I cut that to 10, that's 300 gallons, which just so happens to fit on the tank that I have on the planter. I could pump that fertilizer from that into that tank, drop this, and not even take it down there, and that would make planting that quite a bit easier. We do have a little more than 300 gallons in this tank. Whatever, no big deal. We'll use it somewhere. I guess I had that field figured into my calculation, and I probably shouldn't have, so oh well. But I think we are going to do that. I think we're going to pump that up to that front tank. We might have to grab a can of ether. I've been having trouble with this motor. I use it so little. I think I've used it twice so far this year. This will be the 3rd time, and that's going to be it for the year. It sits in here and runs in the dust all the time, so usually a shot of ether, and it'll start up, and then you got to play with the choke to keep it running, but it'll go from there. So plus, we might be on too much of an angle now with that hitch up. We may have to drop our hitch down because there's an oil level sensor, and I've had problems with that before too, but it's all right. We don't have to deal with that right now. I am reasonably confident we have enough seed on the planter to plant that 30 acres. So we're going to take the stuff that's still in the back of my truck and put it back in the seed warehouse and in so it doesn't get rained on. And we're going to hope that our planter doesn't get rained on with those bags sitting on the platform. That would not be great, but they do have a plastic liner, so it's not the end of the world, but you don't want that to happen. Dad was still hooking up the disc. I was just going to go check and see if we need any help, but here he comes. Dad's not in as big a hurry as I was. So he is down there now. He stopped for lunch. He is down there though now, getting that last field ready to go. I came down to the seed warehouse. I'm going to take those few bags out. The rain is coming. I don't know if we're going to have time or not. Dad sent Xander over there to burn some brush piles and stuff that we had where we're clearing these trees out. Farm we bought this winter. He did that this morning. The fire's it's getting a little out of hand. Kind of windy and blowing into the trees, and can't really go anywhere. It's a green wheat field. Good thing it's not a dry wheat field. I called him and said, hey, you might want to go just kind of watch that and put some of the fire out a little bit. So he's doing that. We're gonna get these bags out of my truck, and then I don't know, we might have to go get the bags off the planter. I don't want to leave them in there if it's gonna rain. Somehow or another, it looks like this rain might split us. Or at least we're not going to get very much. Look at that. We're in the narrow, thin spot of this band. It's going to blow through fast. We aren't going to get very much of it if it does rain. So, not ideal, but it is what it is. We'll grid our stuff off the planter, wait for this to blow through. Hopefully Dad will get the tillage done. It's possible if we don't get a tenth out of this, we'll just go do it later this evening and we'll still get done. I may regret this when it comes time to get them out of there, but there's Dad right there. These are the last fields. I thought I'd come see how he was doing. He thought he would have to disc them twice. Based on what I'm seeing, I think he's probably right. That one's wheat stubble. There was some volunteer wheat out there, so yeah, we'll let him hit them again. Do them after the rain. It's okay. Well, I went into our hardware store for a couple of minutes to grab some stuff, and I come out and it's pouring down rain. We're done. Dad just called me. He wants me to come pick him up. Good thing I didn't go back home. It's possible that I'm wrong about maybe missing the majority of this rain. It's raining pretty hard. For as much as it was pouring in town 5 miles from here, our ground's still dry. Didn't rain here. Not yet, anyway. My wife texted me and said she's nervous about the fire and to be careful. And I wasn't even down here, so I figured maybe I better go see what's going on. It doesn't look that bad. Just burning undergrowth. It's not a big deal. It's raining. It's gonna go out soon. I don't know how close I can get with the truck. So the fire started on a pile over there. Somehow or another it made it over here. How did it even make it over here? Must have blown that way. I see. And now it's going that way. But it's raining. There's a wheat field there. It can't really go anywhere. So I'm not super concerned about it. But we probably better stay here and watch it burn stuff. That tree over there is going to fall down now. Phil is in the backhoe and scraping the edges up. I think it's unnecessarily so. Running over our weeder up there, but it's fine. Well, it's not as windy as it was. It's pretty well contained. I think we're okay here now. Still getting a little bit of rain. It's building to the west. So it might drizzle for a little while. That'll get everything wet. It can't go anywhere. We'll let her burn stuff up. Well, we didn't quite get done. It's still raining a little over a tenth now. I don't think it's going to amount to a huge amount here, but maybe tomorrow. There is more chances of rain tomorrow, but if it's going to be like today, it'll be a line of showers that runs through in the evening. It'll dry off enough late morning, early afternoon that we can get that last 30 acres done. Dad got most of it. He got the big field fit up. He didn't get the two little fields, but he thought he might want to do it again. So whatever. It is what it is. We're in the home stretch. We're down to, technically there's 45 acres of corn, but that includes that 15-acre triangle field there that's underwater. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. So we're going to call it 30 acres of corn to plant, and that's no big deal. We're down to 72 acres of beans. We decided not to go over there and try and no-till part of that field and get rained out with the planter over there, so we just parked it and said we'll deal with that later. It's May 18th. We're officially ahead of pace now. For as far behind as we are now ahead of pace. Since we're doing screen recordings in this video, let me do another one. Oh, did I already do that? Oh, I already did that. Right, where I talked about the planting pace. Yeah, I already showed that. So yeah, you can see it. But anyway, I'm going home for the night. Sounds like my construction guys are going to be around most of the week. They're going to come back tomorrow, put the sealer on the concrete. It was too windy to do that today. And then they're going to put the sheeting on my little building and set trusses later in the week and stuff. So we're going to stick around and help with some of that kind of stuff, I guess. We're going to have a little bit of a lull here. Usually when we're done planting, we drop the planter and hook up to the anhydrous bar and start side dressing corn immediately. But we don't have any corn out of the ground yet. So we're going to have a couple weeks here before we can side dress anything, and we can get some stuff maybe cleaned up and put away, or I can work on some of my other projects and stuff here until that happens. But what a stretch we've had. So thanks for watching, everybody. We didn't beat the rain. Have a great night.